If you find yourself with a camera in your hand and want to learn how to use it, please subscribe to this channel, like the videos, comment below. Hi Photos photographers. Body language. Body language is huge to facial expression. And I want to communicate it this way. This came across my thought process when I was thinking about how do I communicate something in a still image that I saw or was communicated to me through motion in film, a video, a movie. There's body language is another huge key player. Someone might have a little bit confusing of a face to be able to read that emotion, but if you see that person's arm around someone, even an arm around someone can be taken in a couple of different ways. Is the arm around the shoulders of that person? And does their hand kind of rest like this? You know, just on the shoulder, you know, hey, good buddy. Maybe. But it's also important as to who those individuals are in that photograph. So to that point, it's important the environment that the body language, the facial expressions are used. Those are our three big key things: facial expression, body language, and environment. Or I also use the word periphery. So taking the visual acuity, big college words, the focus of what we see with our eye. We have the pupil, the iris, and the eye overall, okay? There's a retina in the very back of the eye. It's the nerve. So you've got basically, if you're looking at only what we can see of our outward eye, we've got the pupil that receives the light, the retina, not the retina, the iris around, which is the color part of our eye, and then the overall. So what we tend to portray in that is that our thought process kind of goes toward, so the pupil is the focus. That's really what we can see through. We don't see the iris. We don't see through the iris. The iris is part of what can contract and close off the opening, which is the pupil, or open it up. The muscles involved in all of that eye structure. The white of the eye is the outside. So that's what you can see of my eye in this video. But in that, connecting together those three things and what we just talked about of the facial expression, the body language, and the periphery are kind of that same way. You've got a focus on what gives the biggest clue, facial expression. The other things that you pick up on because you're going, whoa, I noticed that right away. The importance is to read the other clues, so that's body language. Then there are more subtle things, not necessarily that we need to make them subtle, but they by nature are more subtle than the body language. Is the periphery, the things that we add into the environment. Is it a resort type setting? So the people in the image are relaxed. There's so many different things that can be brought into play as a factor in all of this. So that's why the periphery is so important, is that there's no little clues in the periphery that are going to confuse and throw the viewer off of the rest of what you're adding into a focus in facial expression or the body language, which is slightly outside of your focus. And even if you want to take these principles and apply it to other things, whether a person is in the photograph or not, think about it this way. What is the focus of your photograph? What supports that focus? And number three, what is in the environment over the whole image that would either corroborate, is in what, if you want to put this in memory terms or thought process, cognitive resonance. So is it confusing, or is it not really congruent? Does it really not agree with everything else in the photograph? And by that, the information of your focus, the supporting information to it, and then the periphery of everything else that should agree with those two, are all three of those in one line communicating the same thing. Use what is available. This is important. Use what is available instead of looking at what you don't have available and thinking that you have a limitation because of it. I want to say this carefully, but I want to encourage you to think about it also, that using what is available is going to give you your best result instead of trying to find ways to go around thinking that you don't have something available and then you use unexpected things to communicate something, creating confusion. I just want to leave you with one thought, and then we'll start getting into a lot more of the information on how to take the information we've gone through in breaking down what emotion is all about into setting it up and putting it together so that it can be used properly, clearly, without confusion in your photographs. The question is, can you break down what the person is supposed to feel that you are imaging? That is what your viewer will feel. If you can't break it down, then your viewer won't be able to determine or to feel what you intend them to feel. Thank you so much for watching. We look forward to seeing your thumbs up and the comments down below of how this content has helped you grow in your photography or helped you figure out, I need to think about this and break it down so I can understand it and put it in my photography. If you're not yet a subscriber to the channel, we would love to have you join us, become part of the Photos Photography family. Thank you so much. God bless.